It is day 3 right here at Moscone Center at the Winter Fancy Food Show. Again with me, Denise Purcell, head of content for SFA. Denise, so,
Good morning.
Good morning. The excitement is still there.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of buzz, both from retailers and distributors, a lot of the people who are exhibiting here. So as you and the Trendsetter panel walk around, what are some of the things that you're seeing now?
Oh my, so let's see. A couple of shows ago, it was last year, we started talking about collagen popping up here and there, remember? And it was in drinks and some snack bars and things.
I still can't drink the aloe.
Yeah.
I know it's good for me, but yeah.
No, I get it. But so it started in little bits and pieces. Now we're calling it the edible beauty trend, right? It's collagen is still out there, argan oil, things that are usually topical that you find in health and beauty care items. We're seeing more oils out there for finishing foods. There's a peanut butter, an almond butter, I should say, with argan oil in it. Rose water, which is almost its own trend, but kind of links to this. Very good for the skin, all of these things. Antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, good skin properties, and hydrating. Rose water itself is starting to become almost a flavor trend. We're seeing it in a lot of beverages. There's a rose lemonade that kind of touts how good it is for you. There are sparkling.
And did you taste it?
I did, and it was good.
Yeah?
It was very good. It was subtle. You know, the rose flavor is subtle in it, which can be overpowering
sometimes. A lot of these floral ones, it's just like between the aroma and the taste, you feel like you're drinking perfume.
Exactly. No, it wasn't like that. In fact, none of the ones I tasted are like that. It's just a hint of it, but rose petals, rose water, they're kind of emerging as the next sort of I don't want to say superfood, but good for you kind of thing. They've got a lot.
Coconut water and some of the others.
Yeah, so we're seeing that in beverages especially at this show. So the whole edible beauty thing has kind of taken on a little bit of a life of its own.
And one of the things as I'm walking around that I'm noticing and looking for are clean labels.
Yeah.
The one thing that I'm really seeing, unlike if you and I walked around the show 5 years ago and we would be picking up and looking at ingredients and things like that, I'm seeing so many products that have 3 ingredients, 5 ingredients, and obviously nothing artificial and no preservatives.
Or pronounceable.
And pronounceable, real food on those labels.
Absolutely. It's what consumers want. As they become more educated about what's in what they're putting in their body, what's in their food, they want to be able to read a label and see pronounceable names of food items, and traceability and where did it come from and who grew it and who made it, all important. So that on the packaging is almost a trend in and of itself.
And I think it's a must-have for most of these companies now. The other thing that I was curious about in walking around is in talking to a lot of these people, these are not, I shouldn't say that. A lot of people that I met are not food people. They didn't grow up in the food industry. They're not trained culinarians. They're not trained chefs. They didn't work at a supermarket. They were a marine biologist or they were in the Peace Corps. A lot of the people that we've been interviewing here, just had a very different background and then had a passion to get into the food business for whatever reason, whether it was their knowledge or something happened to them, and they're bootstrapping it. And I want to say that, if not all of them, I mean, they're coming and they're saying, SFA, Specialty Food Association, is what's made us successful. It's not just exhibiting at a show once or twice a year. It's the consistent education, it's the consistent programs that are out there that help them know how to run a business, yet alone a food business, which is really complicated.
Well, I mean, and that's good to hear because that's something we take really seriously at SFA. We've always done a lot of education work in sort of preparedness, and that's our whole basics program that we have here at the shows. It has been the linchpin of it, and that's something that we're really building out. We have a new platform that we're working with Cornell University on.
I know, we talked about that yesterday. That's fabulous.
And we'll be rolling, hopefully expanding that into different areas as well. So What you're describing is part of a long tradition, though, in this industry of career changers. People who got burnt out from corporate life, or they got laid off in 2008 during the recession or something, and they had an idea or they had a family recipe and they built a food business, and they do need help about what this industry is and the ins and outs of it. And so that's where the association can be useful to them, and the vast knowledge of our membership, and our members are very generous about sharing knowledge, which I don't think is normal in a lot of industries.
No, it's not. And not even in other aspects of the food industry, where they're very closed-mouthed. I actually ran into John Roberts, the ex-CEO of Specialty Food Association. And John was CEO for 17 years, he told me.
Yeah.
And he was really so proud to see how it's grown and how, what he shepherded has now grown probably fivefold, sixfold.
Yeah.
And John was always one of those guys, and still to this day, I heard him talking to people who were giving, a lot of the suppliers, a lot of the exhibitors here, advice, connections, names of who to talk to at retail, and so on. And I think that camaraderie and that warmth is really what has made Specialty Food Association as strong and big and successful as it is, as compared to a lot of the other food shows that have either disappeared or are waning.
Well, it's a community, right? It's not just an association or a trade show. It's a whole community of buyers and makers and educators and people who can help them.
Very important.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see your trend report. Now, when is that going to come out?
It's going to come out shortly after the show. I'm going to say in about a week or so. We need some time to compile everything. But the trend spotters are still out there today looking, and we're going to put together their official list, and we'll be publishing it in Specialty Food News, our daily e-newsletter.
Terrific. So make sure you check out. By the way, if you have not signed up for Specialty Food News, the daily newsletter, make sure you go to specialtyfoodassociation.org.
Specialtyfood.com.
Specialtyfood.com. Boy, did I get that wrong. And by the way, yesterday I was telling everybody, stop by. We're in booth 1800. We're actually booth 1200.
Yes,
I know. Yeah, Tony corrected me yesterday.
They'll find you.
But make sure specialtyfood.com. Sign up for the newsletter, not only to find out about all the trends, but all the food news each and every day that affects you. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Mike Lee is going to be with us.